Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education, I would like to thank you for being in attendance, both virtually and in person, for tonight's board meeting. At this time, I would like to reconvene the meeting of the Community Unit School District 300 Board of Education to order for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Burkett, present. Fiorentino.
Present.
Lamarca.
Present.
McKindy.
Present.
Scarpino.
Present.
Thomas. Zettler.
Present.
You have 6 board members present.
Thank you. Dr. Smith.
At this time, I'd like to invite Principal Marlene Munoz from Lakewood Elementary School and her students to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Parents, you're welcome to move forward and take photos as well.
Mom, dads, come on up if you want to. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okey doke. Go ahead. Make sure, yeah.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, board members, and Dr. Smith. It's an honor to be here tonight with all of you. I am honored to be the principal of our Lakewood Language Academy, and I'm so proud to have 8 of our students today representing our school. These are students that constantly show responsibility, kindness, just good citizenship every day. And I'm also like to publicly thank our parents for constantly partnering up with our school. Muchas gracias, padres, por su compromiso con nosotros y con sus estudiantes. Thank you so much for having us tonight. And today I will introduce, starting with our youngest one, Leslie Gomez, Whitaker Marshall, Jimena Ayala, David Gasca, Emma Fleck, Ms. Gloria Garcia, Neri Lopez, and Nathaniel Dinajero. I also would like to ask the audience to please stand for a Pledge of Allegiance. Students, as we practice, right hand over your heart. They're going to help us lead the pledge. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mom and Dad, congratulations. You got great kids. Great kids. There have been no changes to the agenda. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler.
Aye.
McKindy.
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Lamarca.
Aye.
Scarpino.
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Dr. Smith?
For tonight's student recognition, I'd like to again invite Mrs. Kelly Manalfi. I don't see her in the room, but I know she's here. Assistant Superintendent of High Schools in Oak Ridge. Mrs. Manalfi will briefly describe the fall academic recognitions for Dundee Crown High School, and then she'll introduce Dundee Crown High School's principal, Dr. Asia Gurney.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Smith, community members, and families. We are super excited tonight to recognize academic scholars from Dundee Crown High School. Some of these students are here tonight for a single recognition, while others are here for multiple recognitions. Before proceeding with the recognitions, I'd like to provide an overview of the awards. The SAT STARS Award is granted to students who scored a composite of 1,400 or higher on the SAT out of a total of 1,600. This is a two-part assessment with evidence-based reading and writing and mathematics. We have a number of AP Scholars. AP Scholars are broken down into three distinctions: AP Scholars with Honor, and AP Scholars with Distinction. The AP Scholar Award is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. The AP Scholar with Honor Award is granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken, and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. And finally, the AP Scholar with Distinction Award is granted to students who receive an average score of at least 3.5 on all AP exams taken, and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. These are such outstanding accomplishments for any of these categories. And over the past several years, we continue to have a growing AP Capstone program. The AP Capstone Diploma is granted to students who earn scores of 3 or higher in AP Seminar and AP Research, and on an additional 4 AP exams of their choosing. And finally, College Board now has a national recognition program called Big Future that honors underrepresented students for their achievements. Dundee Crown has several students who have applied and qualified for the National Hispanic Recognition Award, the National African American Recognition Award, the National Indigenous Recognition Award, or the National First Generation Recognition Award. Students who qualify for this recognition must have a GPA of 3.5 or higher and must score in the top 10% of test takers within the program in Illinois on the PSAT, NMSQT, or PSAT 10, or have earned a score of 3 or higher on 2 or more distinct AP exams in the eligible exam periods. Many of these students who have earned recognition tonight are highly involved beyond academics. With extracurricular activities and other commitments and obligations, not all of our students were able to make it tonight. Please know we are proud of all of these students for these accomplishments. At this time, I'd like to welcome Interim Principal Dr. Asia Gurney to the podium to honor the students from Dundee Crown.
Want to make sure they all get in. Good evening, Dr. Smith, Board of Education, and community members. It is my privilege tonight to introduce several remarkable students. Sorry, I just always cry. Our Chargers, who have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement. These students have not only excelled in their academics, but have set an example of what it means to be dedicated, focused, and driven towards success. Each one of these Chargers has risen to meet the high standards of academic excellence we set at Dundee Crown High School, often going beyond what is required to pursue their intellectual passions. They have shown resilience, creativity, and leadership in their studies, and we are incredibly proud of their accomplishments. Please join me in recognizing these outstanding Chargers as they receive their well-deserved academic awards this evening. Their success is a testament to their hard work and the bright future that lies ahead for each of them. I am so proud of these students for what they have and will continue to accomplish. Students, please step forward when your name is called. Julia Bogush, SAT Stars, AP Scholar with Distinction, National First Generation Recognition Award. Dominic Budish, step forward, yep, there you go. AP Scholar with Honors. Anna Cortez, SAT Stars, AP Scholar with Honors. Alexis De La Cruz, AP Seminar and Research Certificate. Olivia Eckersberg, AP Scholar. Sophie Farrick, AP Scholar with Honors. Natalie Gonzalez, AP Scholar with Honors. Logan Gutierrez, AP Scholar. Aubrey Hayes, AP Scholar. Joseph Hillier, AP Scholar with Honors, National First Generation Recognition Award. Abigail Shee, AP Scholar. Aiden Jacobs, AP Scholar, National First Generation Recognition Award. Charles Johnson, AP Scholar. Nathan Johnston, National Indigenous Recognition Award. Natalia Maclazow, AP Scholar. Reagan Martin, AP Seminar and Research Certificate. Carly McBreen, AP Scholar. Delaney Moggy, AP Scholar with Honors. Shayla Morales, National Hispanic Recognition Award. Paige Morris, AP Scholar. Chindindu Wachuku, National African American Recognition Award. Jalen Ola, AP Scholar. Jared Russell, AP Scholar. Natalie Zingerian, AP Scholar with Honor. Nitsiri Zrivorpet, AP Scholar. Abdiel Trejo, National First Generation Recognition Award, National Hispanic Recognition Award. I didn't miss anyone, did I? All right, those are our award winners for this evening. Thank you.
Parents, congratulations to you. Outstanding job. Outstanding job. Very proud of you. For those who have watched our board meetings both in person and over the internet, you will remember we have rules of decorum. I'm sorry. I apologize to you. I'm sorry, Dr.
My
Smith.
turn, Doc.
I'm sorry. You caught me.
For tonight's staff recognition, we'll be celebrating School Bus Drivers Appreciation Day. Today, October 22nd, Illinois celebrates School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, a day that honors the dedicated individuals who ensure our students are safely transported to and from school. School bus drivers in District 300 navigate busy roads and manage diverse groups, demonstrating patience and resilience each day. They are behind the wheel. They also serve as role models for students, imparting important values like responsibility and respect. On behalf of District 300, please join me in recognizing our hardworking school bus drivers. As Mr. Wetzel and Mr. McGinn make their way up to the podium, I have a couple words in the room tonight. You'll see we have all of our principals of District 300, and I didn't want this year to go by without us shining a special light on our principals during our National Principal Month. It may seem that we take so much time to recognize our principals, but we don't do it enough. And I think that as I remember being in the position, you can never say thank you and recognize and say that you appreciate enough for the things that they are doing every single day to keep our schools and students safe, as well as move our district to that next level. And so I want to say thank you for accepting my invite. And we appreciate you, and we don't say it enough. So I hope that all of the love that we've shown you in the past few days, I hope that you are able to just take a moment and take that in and cherish it and accept it, because you deserve it. So, Mr. Wetzel.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Good evening, Board of Education, community members, and of course, principals. Tonight, we're honored to recognize our principals for their dedication and leadership. Joining me are several members of our district leadership team, including our Chief of Communications and our Assistant Superintendents, who play a vital role in supporting our schools. They are here to assist with tonight's recognition. We are deeply grateful for the commitment our principals demonstrate in leading their schools, and we couldn't be more thankful for the positive impact they have on the lives of our students and staff. Thank you for joining us in this celebration. At this time, I'd like to ask our preschool and elementary school principals to come to the front to be recognized. All right, when I call your name, please step forward, okay? Megan Dacey, principal at the DeLacy Family Education Center. Mary Lynn Smith, principal at Algonquin Lakes Elementary. Dr. Megan Buchanan, principal at Eastview Elementary. Emily Varghese, principal at Lincoln Prairie Elementary. Shallon Leishman, principal at Newbert Elementary. Dr. Angela Ranke, principal at Sleepy Hollow Elementary. Pam Hill, principal at Gulfview Elementary. Angela Hammond, principal at Lake in the Hills Elementary. Marlene Munoz, principal at Lakewood Elementary. Jackie Verkota, principal at Meadowdale Elementary. Kim Wright, principal at Parkview Elementary. Katie Kiefer, principal at Perry Elementary. Brittany Porsche, principal at Big Timber Elementary. Doug Corey, principal at Dundee Highlands Elementary. Dr. Becky Jers, principal at Gary D. Wright Elementary. Tom Ruzenach, principal at Gilbert's Elementary. Jen Nolan, principal at Hampshire Elementary. Jen Breeze, principal at Westfield Community School. And Stephanie Watson, principal at Liberty Elementary. Please join us in a round of applause for our elementary and preschool principals.
I'm coming around.
At this time, I'd like to ask our secondary principals and Oak Ridge principal to come forward to be recognized. Congratulations to Jason Lentz, principal of Algonquin Middle School. Matt Langdon, principal at Carpentersville Middle School. Leo Labrie, principal at Dundee Middle School. Nick Poole, principal at Hampshire Middle School. Dr. Asia Gurney, interim principal at Dundee Crown High School. Dr. Patrick Hardy, principal at Hampshire High School. Dr. Chris Testoni, principal at Jacobs High School. And Stacy Wilkinson, principal at Oak Ridge School. Please join us in a round of applause for our secondary and Oak Ridge principals.
Now I'm all done, Doc.
Principals, before you depart, time out, time out, time out. Before you depart, go to the golf course or something like that. Board members, anyone like to share any comments or anything right now? Why don't we start at the end and then work our way this way?
Just, we appreciate you guys immensely, you know that. And everybody is in this district is an educator, but you guys are, have little companies that you work with, and it's just amazing what you do with the kids, and I'm very proud to have you all in our school district. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Just wanted to thank every single one of you. I know you do the thankless job. I would like to thank you sincerely from the bottom of my heart. Thanks for everything you do. Really appreciate it, and we're all for you.
I can't believe you stopped Jason Lentz from running out the door. Is he back in here? There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'd like to add those thanks and appreciation for our building leaders. I think, and I know that we have a big school district with lots of important jobs, but I believe that you have the hardest job, but probably the most awesome job. And again, I just want to thank you for all you do in our schools, all that you do as an interface to our families and our parents and our community. Thanks very much.
Thank you all very much. The work you do is immeasurably important and immeasurably impactful. Thank you.
Also, thank you for me. I really appreciate all that you do for our students, our communities, and your coworkers to make District 300 the special place that it is. Thank you.
For those of you that know me, what I'm about to say, I say very rarely. I respect each of you and the job that you do. I respect it. It's a tough job. It is. You know it, and I know it. Keep it going. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now you can go.
Now Jason can leave. Pretty cool.
For those who have watched our board meetings, both in person and over the internet, you will remember that we have rules of decorum. These rules serve a purpose, so we as a board can have a meaningful and productive board meeting. In order for this to occur, decorum must be maintained. The following are the rules of decorum. There's no need for anyone to call out comments during our meeting, or to raise their voices, nor to interrupt another speaker or presenter. We as a board will listen to you, and we will be respectful. We will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with speakers in this forum. Board members may choose to discuss matters brought up during public comment during board discussion. However, I need to remind everyone that this would be a board discussion, and the board will not dialogue or engage with anyone other than the superintendent and other board members. I ask you to please be respectful, civil, and courteous during our meeting. If a person chooses to be disruptive, I will gavel the person and ask them to please stop their disruptive behavior. Additionally, our district safety officer or his agent may warn them that if they choose to continue their disruptive behavior, additional consequences will be forthcoming. If a person chooses to continue to be disruptive and not follow the rules, they will be removed from our meeting. This action is a direct result of the person's choice to be disruptive. We as a board will respectfully listen to each speaker. Just because we didn't vote the way some wanted us to does not mean we didn't listen or take into consideration what you had to say. Also, please remember we all learn differently. Some of us take notes during presentations and therefore take our eyes off of the speaker. It doesn't mean we are not listening. I want to thank you in advance for your cooperation. The board and I look forward to a meaningful and productive meeting. Tonight, we have had one person sign up for public participation. When I call you up to the podium, please state your name and relationship to the district and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please note the following. The speaker has been provided with guidelines for public participation. The board will consider your comments, but will not dialogue or engage with you in this forum. Questions raised may be assigned to the superintendent for an answer. As appropriate, a member of the administration may reach out to the speaker to give them relevant information or to ask for additional information. This is done to make sure the board has all of the information needed to properly address the speaker's concerns. Charges, complaints, or challenges against staff members of the district will not be heard in open meetings and should be made in writing to the board and superintendent. We also ask that speakers refrain from personally attacking district staff or members of the board. Failure to abide by time rules or those found out of order may lead to exclusion from the meeting, to be fair to all participants. Our first and only speaker this evening for 3 minutes, Henry Fixmer.
Hello, my name is Henry Fixmer. My pronouns are he, him, and his, and I have children in the D300 district. I'm here because there was a rumor that some students at one of the high schools were uncomfortable with a transgender student in their locker room. Again, this was a rumor, and I have no way of substantiating it, but I would like to get out ahead of it simply with a very respectful reminder that students are, by state law, allowed to use facilities aligned with their gender identity. Students are not let in simply because one day they say they're another gender. There is a process the students and parents or guardians must go through, and it takes time. Sometimes I feel like this is not emphasized enough when people are concerned. It takes time. It is a process. So parents, please educate your students that trans and gender expansive kids are not there to harm anyone or cause trouble. If a student is not comfortable changing with other kids, they do have options and can speak with their school staff. The onus is on the kids who are not comfortable, not on the transgender and gender expansive kids. Besides, in the locker rooms, they're supposed to be getting ready for PE, not checking each other out. There are plenty of gay, lesbian, and bisexual kids also, and nobody complains about them. Why? Because they're getting ready for PE. So, also a reminder, kids aren't getting naked to go into the showers after PE anymore, and maybe that's why middle and high school kids don't smell pretty by the end of the day. Either way, leave each other alone, and all can be well. And if you're uncomfortable, speak with a teacher. Thank you.
Thank you. Superintendent report, Dr. Smith.
I'd like to have John Hummel and Jennifer Porter please come to the podium about our projections and enrollment and some possible needs assessments in the future.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Dr. Smith, Board of Education and community members. We are here tonight to talk to you about the projected enrollment growth in our district and the challenges it presents. We will also discuss some of the possible solutions to ensure all of our students continue to receive high-quality education. Now, each year we utilize September 30th as the cutoff date for our enrollment numbers. It is far enough into the school year that dramatic changes no longer occur, and we still have daily changes, but not to the extent that the beginning of the school year brings. So as of September 30th, you can see that the overall growth in our district is continuing to grow, and our enrollment has increased by 180 students. This is larger as compared to last year at this time when I did this report. We had only increased by 33 students. So now this same window, we're always doing September, we have now increased by 180 students for this year. We can also see there's a small decrease in our middle school students, but elementary and high schools are showing the increase. We also see that our preschool programs at DeLacy have increased again this year, as has Cambridge Lakes. So now we're going to look at some of the reasons why we continue to have an increase in enrollment. This visual represents all of the current and projected housing developments in our district. As you can see, we have growth in all corners of our district. So not all of these have started, but are projected to start in the next couple of years. And with this knowledge, we can prepare accordingly. Okay, so we utilize the demographic and housing data compiled by Predictive Analytics, it's a PowerSchool program, to determine our building capacity and utilization for the coming year. Based on our projections, we are predicting that we will have limited capacity at 4 of our elementary schools. The remaining schools either show that they have enough space or that there will be a limited impact from the projected developments. I'm going to return to the schools in red in a moment. So when it comes to our middle schools, we do have a slightly different model when it comes to calculating how our utilization and our capacity. So for our elementary schools, it is based on section enrollment, and instead for our middle schools and our high schools, based on seats, so the available seats in the school. And you can see based on the anticipated growth in our district, we could start to have capacity issues at a couple of our middle schools. Okay, when we move over to high school, we have a similar situation where we could see a potential limitations to our capacity, mainly at our Dundee Crown School. Okay, so when we look at our red schools, I want to put this in a better perspective. Though they may be showing potential to reach capacity, we do have ways of dealing with this issue. Now, Dundee Highlands and Eastview have been on my list since I started giving these presentations. Though they are red, we do not see an increase in their enrollment that would require major changes. We can absorb any of these increases through our section enrollment cap. Now, this is not overloading sections, okay? But we do have the room in our current section structure to add additional students to each section without going over contractual obligations. Furthermore, any developments that may have impacted these schools are a couple of years out. It would not result in a massive influx of students. Now, Parkview has been on our radar for being overcrowded, so we are already in the process of evaluating our options for that school. And for the immediate future, we have the same option we do for Dundee Highlands and Eastview with our section enrollment. Now, Sleepy Hollow is back on our list. It was off last year, it's back this year, but its enrollment projections are pretty consistent. And as similar to our other schools on this list, we're not seeing a drastic increase in enrollment. We can adjust those sections. Now, when it comes to our middle schools, we can look at programs and what options we have with those programs. And then also, we can look at the potential of boundary changes in the future. Okay, so now I'm going to pass this along to Jennifer Porter to discuss other options and how they relate to our master facility plan.
As we look at the growing enrollment in our district, we have several options to address capacity issues, each with its own set of challenges and opportunities. First, we could allow class sizes to grow and compensate teachers with overload payments. While this addresses the capacity issue in the short term, it may lead to larger class sizes that could affect the quality of instruction and teacher-student interaction, potentially creating dissatisfaction among our students and staff. Second, we could balance school utilization by redistributing students across schools. This approach might optimize our use of available space, but could require rezoning, which, as we know, can be disruptive for students and families. Third, we could build additional classroom space. While this is a long-term solution, it comes with a high cost and an 18-month timeline, making it less feasible for immediate relief. Another option is to create rolling boundaries tied to enrollment trends. This dynamic approach could help manage fluctuating student populations, but might cause instability for families year to year. Moving programs is another possibility, such as relocating certain special programs to alleviate overcrowding in some schools. However, this might create inequities among schools if not managed carefully. Lastly, we could share classroom spaces for music, art, and STEM programs. While this maximizes the use of available rooms, it risks diminishing the quality of these programs, which are essential to our students' holistic education. Now let's talk about the cost and student impacts of these options. If we do nothing, it's technically an option, but it's not ideal. By allowing current trends to continue, we could exceed class size limits, increasing teacher overload payments, and potentially face union issues. Rezoning is a short-term fix that comes with a level of disruption for families, as students may have to switch schools. This may not address the problem long-term, as we would still need to monitor capacity. Moving pre-K and self-contained programs offers a minimal cost solution, but would place an undue burden on these students and staff. It's not a sustainable solution and could lead to larger class sizes elsewhere. Building a new school is the most expensive option, estimated at $45 million, and it would require going to referendum. While this would address long-term needs, it wouldn't be ready to start for the next school year, and would also require rezoning. Adding mobile classrooms would cost around $4 million. This is a quick fix, but not a permanent solution to our growing enrollment. Moving specials like art, music, and STEM to carts would have minimal costs, but could create inequality among our schools and negatively impact the quality of these programs. Finally, building additions will cost about $12 million. This would allow us to maintain class sizes, minimize the impact on special programs, and address our needs for the next 3 to 5 years. As we conclude, I want to emphasize that our master facility plan is designed to ensure that our growth aligns with our ongoing commitment to educational excellence. First, we are focusing on aligning our facilities with both educational and operational needs. This means creating flexible, adaptable spaces that support diverse learning styles, helping us meet the needs of all of our students. Second, long-term sustainability is a key priority. We are committed to building energy-efficient, adaptable spaces that can evolve with educational trends, ensuring that our facilities remain effective and efficient for years to come. Next, we're supporting our growing enrollment by prioritizing classroom additions, new schools construction, and boundary adjustments. These measures will help us stay ahead of capacity challenges. All of our decisions are based on data. We are using assessments, enrollment projections, and community feedback to guide the planning process, ensuring that we're responding to the real needs and concerns. Finally, our commitment to creating modernized learning environments will allow us to incorporate cutting-edge technology and flexible learning spaces, giving our students the best possible learning experiences. In closing, our master facility plan is not just about addressing immediate capacity concerns. It's also about ensuring that our district is prepared for the future with facilities that support our educational goals and community values.
Board members, any questions? Yes, Leslie.
Hi, Jennifer. Can you go back to slide 25?
Is that the right one?
Oh, is that the right one? No, that is the right one. Okay. Can you talk about, and it's probably just me, but I don't really understand what rolling boundaries are. Can you just, a quick explanation
Rolling
of that?
boundaries we've talked about before is looking at our boundaries and looking how that our grade levels are going from year to year. So it's not setting it's not setting boundaries for a specific long-term amount of time, but it's looking at how each year is progressing.
So realistically, I'm sorry.
Are you, could it affect feeder pattern? Is that
Could
what
affect feeder pattern.
But realistically then, you're saying that could be highly disruptive to families because
Correct.
they could literally go to a different school
Correct.
every year?
I'm saying
There's
it's
no
not.
stability,
I'm saying it's not the best option. I'm just saying
Okay.
it is an option.
Okay. And then on your move programs, option number 5, or yeah, option number 5, can you give an example of what kind of program would you move?
For example, we could move a pre-K program out of a school that we need to add another section for elementary, and we would move it to a different location where there is room. So it's moving actually a pre-K program, or we're talking about a self-contained program. It could be several of the different programs that we have, because we do have programs that are specialized to specific schools that they're housed.
Okay. I have one more question. This might be more for you. So, again, I'm not sure this is something that you even think about anymore, but once upon a time we did. Do the numbers of the students, the number of students attending Cambridge Lakes Charter School impacted all the projections? Do we break down those kids by their home school and factor that in? Or I have even no idea what their current enrollment is. So I'm asking this completely kind of with a lack of no knowledge right now about their enrollment.
It's around 622, and it does not impact the enrollment because the way we do this is we actually have all of our students plotted with the school that they're already attending. So the program already knows where they're going, so it can't predict what students are going to decide to go to Cambridge Lakes. So, but it can predict just based on trends that it has increased by X amount each year, so that's what it's projected. That's why it never really, in our projections, we don't see like huge growth, even though we see a lot of growth in Hampshire. There is not a projection that Cambridge Lakes is now going to be skyrocketing because of all the construction in Hampshire.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Thank you.
Any other board members? Steve?
Would you bring the slide back that had some of those cost estimates for each of those? Yeah, thank you. So, varying levels of numbers there on those options. when are we planning on sharing some type of timeline? Is that coming up soon to say, here are those options, building a school, building additions, here's the additions, here's where they're needed? I guess I'm unsure, like, you say building additions, is that, we're assuming that that's where all the red schools are? Additions to those schools?
It's an option. It's a
Right, I understand the
potential
option, but when are we gonna see more to those options that,
Parkview right now, we're designing. We talked about that a couple
Right.
operation meetings ago, but those recommendations will come through with the master facility plan.
okay?
So there isn't really a timeline right now, is what you're saying? Is there a timeline for
these
some of these
suggestions?
things?
No, because like I said before, the red schools are really just so we can continue to watch them, but they are not in crisis. They are, especially like Dundee Highlands and Eastview and Sleepy Hollow, they may have a limited capacity, but their enrollment projections put them at maintaining the capacity they're at. So they may have 2 rooms that are potentially available, but those same 2 rooms will be available for the next 5 to 6 years based on our projection of enrollment. So that's why they're there, so we can keep an eye on them just in case something happens. But then with Parkview, we are running out of space in that building altogether, and so that's why we already presented an option to get that ball rolling.
Okay, can I ask a follow-up?
Yes, sir.
So, let me just read the words.
Can I answer your timing question before you go into this?
Go ahead.
So we just did the community engagement. So we're coming back to the operations meeting on November 12th, and we're giving a preview of what the priorities were. So now we have the preview, the summary of the assessment, the funding options, and now this information. We will then need to consider all of that with the board and discuss what are the next steps and what are the things we'd like to see put in that plan. And so our next big conversation on this will be on the 12th at operations meeting.
Okay. So when you write build a new school, 45 million, and then the impact, and it says it won't be ready by the start of the school year, you know, as a board member, I'm like, whoa, so we need, are we recommending, but we can't do that by the end of the school year? We would need to rezone. That's a pretty intense time frame.
Again, every year when we look at these are options that we present that are opportunities that when we're looking at, as John said, I had to look at your name tag. As John said, we are looking at those buildings that are in red, but we don't have the immediate concern for those.
Like, for example, if there is going to be a need to build a new school or one of these options here, how soon would we know that to be able to have enough time to do that?
We would start having that discussion now. We would continue this, and that would be not for 25, 26.
Okay.
That would be something we would need to consider for 26, 27, and beyond. And so all of these options won't need to be implemented 1 year at a time. That next year that's coming up, we might be discussing something that you all want to see completed by 27, 28. So it's not, each decision will not be just cut and dry, start in 25, 26.
They're not immediate
It will
needs.
happen. It will happen over time. And so the most immediate need we had already brought to you in September for Parkview.
Okay.
And so we are already moving on that one.
Can we see the slide that shows the middle school situation? So you're saying, no, that's that. So you're saying that although Dundee Middle School for 26, 27 is negative, we have a plan for that? Because that's coming up soon.
So this is where we will review what our options are, and like I said, some of our options are program moves, determine which programs are available to move in that building. But again, because we can't build a middle school overnight, we do have our short-term solutions, but our long-term solutions are coming out of our master facility plan.
We also wouldn't need to be considering building a school for 100 kids. So let me first say that. But we also have space options other than moving programs inside Dundee Middle School. And so we're not in a situation like Parkview where you saw every inch of the building is over capacity packed right now, or like how we view Dundee Crown. That is not the case at Dundee Middle School. There are options within the building for the best utilization of the available space that we could also discuss.
So the numbers don't tell the whole story. There's
Right.
more behind it. Okay, thanks. Just, when you see the dates coming up sooner, you think, okay, and it takes a while to do something, to execute a change.
Yes.
Thanks for explaining that.
Any other board members? I would like to request that we get some type of map for rezoning. I think it would behoove board members to look at rezoning first, because I understand that it could be upsetting to parents. I get that. But the R word with taxpayers, referendum, to build something, I do not think that we as a board would be doing our due diligence if we did not look at options for rezoning. And so what I would hope that we get, we being the board, gets some type of example for, like you're saying, Parkview is overcrowded. If I'm not mistaken, there are other schools on the east side that have an extremely low enrollment. And so I'm thinking as a taxpayer in the district, why would you want to spend X amount of dollars putting classrooms in there when you could just redraw some boundaries and we're not going to be spending money? So I'm trying to think, and I just believe that we need to see options, and that is my hope, that we see that. Okay?
Can I just say one
Sure.
thing? Again, what we're providing here is the data.
I
When we
understand that.
need to bring those options forward, we will definitely do that.
I get that. I get it.
Okay.
I just wanted to go on record and say, you know what, we need to look at, because
Absolutely.
at the operations committee meeting, it was brought up. It was brought up by Mr. Tennis. And so it's a
We also need to
legitimate.
clarify, as a reminder, that some of those schools are dual language academies, so we wouldn't rezone those students from dual language academies from Parkview.
That-
And so the other piece that isn't in just this sheer data is different buildings offer different opportunities, but we can provide that map so the board can be fully armed with what all the options are and what everything looks like before the funding decisions need to be made.
Yeah, I think that's great. Just so at a board meeting or at a committee meeting, then when we talk about it, the public can actually see that we have looked at things like this and we have
Yes.
investigated. That's why.
Definitely.
Yep, we're on the same page. Thank you. Anybody else? Nope. Okay, thank you.
If I could have Dr. Melanie Gravel and Mrs. Nikki Woodbury please come to the podium for our update on materials adoptions. We have quite a few of them.
Yes, we do. Good evening, Dr. Smith and Board of Education. We are here tonight to provide a high-level overview of the 2024 instructional material review process, including background information and details to support our request to publicly display our proposed materials. Additional information was previously provided in the board memo for today's agenda item. First and foremost, we would like to thank everyone who has helped our team complete the 2024 instructional material review process. We are greatly appreciative of the time and collaboration that went into this very important process for our students and staff. We would like to especially thank LEAD for their dedication and engagement throughout the entire process. Annually, District 300 engages in an instructional material review cycle for identified courses. Instructional materials utilized for each course are reviewed every 6 years unless otherwise identified. This year, we reviewed instructional materials for 15 of our K-12 courses in the following departments: Career and Technical Education, English, Fine and Performing Arts, Math, Science, Social Studies, and world language. As a part of the process, instructional materials were reviewed by 3 teams. First, materials were reviewed by the district leadership team, which includes various members from multiple departments, including members of the Curriculum and Instruction Administration team, Education Services Department, Professional Development, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department, and the MTSS and Assessment Systems Department. At the same time, the district technology team vetted the resources to ensure that they would function with internal D300 systems and platforms. From there, teacher collaborative teams met to review the instructional materials. For teacher collaborative team reviews, all teachers of each course were invited to participate in this process. Each team reviewed instructional materials, completed a scoring rubric, and provided feedback on the strengths and opportunities of the materials reviewed. At this time, we are requesting the Board of Education's approval for the public display of the following proposed instructional materials. For automotive technology, we are requesting to display Goodhart Wilcox Modern Automotive Technology, copyright 2026. The team appreciated that these instructional materials are aligned directly with the Automotive Service Excellence Accreditation standards, are compatible with Google Translate for access in multiple languages, are appropriate reading level for students in all 3 courses, and provide relevant supplemental resources and activities aligned with the courses. For AP Language and Composition, we are requesting to display AMSCO English Language and Composition by Perfection Learning. Teachers highlighted its purposeful, relevant, and rigorous content, along with its excellent alignment with the AP exam and College Board standards. For KA Art, we are requesting to display the Art of Education Flex Curriculum digital platform by the Art of Education University. The team appreciated the resources in many aspects of the K-8 art courses, including diverse artist references and projects aligned with the course curricula. The materials are also aligned to both the National Core Art Standards and the Illinois Art Standards. For AP Calculus, we are requesting to display Cengage's Calculus for AP by Larson and Battaglia. Teachers praised its alignment to College Board standards, comprehensive examples, AP-style questions, and additional resources for practice and assessment. For AP Chemistry, we are requesting to display Cengage's Chemistry AP Edition, 11th edition. Teachers highlighted the value of the interactive study and OWL platforms, which provide effective tools for both teaching and student practice. The question formats and tools were recognized as highly valuable, complementing the College Board's multiple choice practice for the AP exam. For applied microbiology, we are going to continue utilizing the current suite of resources as it continues to be the best option for our students. The existing resources includes OpenStack's Microbiology, which provides a comprehensive foundation in microbiology principles. For human anatomy and physiology, we are requesting to display Hull's Essentials of Human Anatomy and Physiology, 2nd edition, published by McGraw-Hill. Teachers praised the comprehensive case studies, enrichment activities, and labs. They also noted the valuable student resources for enrichment, user-friendly formative online assessments, and the SmartBook tool. For zoology, we are requesting to display McGraw-Hill's Zoology 11th edition. Teachers praise this text for its comprehensive, summative, and formative assessment tools, as well as the potential to support students interested in pursuing zoology as a career.
Good evening. I'll be continuing, starting with social studies. After careful review, it was determined that our current K-5 social studies instructional materials, TCI's Social Studies Alive, are the instructional materials that we will continue with. Their continued use ensures consistency and stability within the curriculum, supporting sustained student engagement and learning progression. Our goal is to concurrently review K-5 literacy and K-5 social studies in the next scheduled K-5 literacy adoption cycle, which will occur in the 28-29 school year. For AP Psychology, we are requesting to display the 4th edition of Myers Psychology for the AP course, published by BFW, citing its comprehensive and precise alignment with the updated AP course framework and College Board's standards. For AP Government, we are requesting to display the 2nd edition of American Government, Stories of a Nation, published by BFW. Teams cited its strong alignment with the updated AP curriculum and College Board standards. Key features include the test generator and learning curve tool, which allows students to monitor their progress independently. The text will be updated in January 2025, and the district will receive the updated resource. For AP Macroeconomics, we are requesting to display the 4th edition of Krugman's Macroeconomics for the AP course, published by BFW. This text is recognized as the gold standard for AP Macroeconomics for its clear organization and precise alignment with College Board standards, using the same language as the AP framework to ensure seamless course integration. For Youth and Law, Law and Justice, we are requesting to display McGraw-Hill's Street Law, a course in practical law, 10th edition. The team highlighted its practical approach and thorough coverage of essential legal principles. Finally, for American Sign Language 1 through 4, we are requesting to display the Dawn Sign Press Signing Naturally digital platform. The feedback provided an opportunity for a replacement of current print instructional materials with its digital platform. In addition to viewing the digital platform and new homework feature as a benefit, teachers acknowledged they're familiar with the print version of these instructional materials as they're currently in use. At this time, we are requesting the board's approval to publicly display these instructional materials for the next 30 days. Pending approval, members of the community wishing to preview these materials are welcome to call the central office front desk between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday to request digital access. Following the public display period, on December 17th, we will formally request the Board of Education's approval of these instructional materials. Again, we would like to thank our review teams for engaging in this lengthy but important process. And at this time, we'd like to invite any questions from the board.
Board members, any questions? No? Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Board discussion. Any updates regarding the board committees, standing board committee operation?
The Operations Committee, the next meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th at 4:30. And it sounds like at that meeting, we would have an update on the preliminary feedback from the master facilities focus groups that just took place. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Board members, anything? No? I would like to provide the community with an announcement regarding the creation of 3 new board ad hoc committees. The board is establishing these ad hoc committees to help us work more efficiently on key priorities. Each committee will focus on a specific area, ensuring that we meet our goals and responsibilities to the district and to our community. Based on a discussion during our last self-evaluation, the board has decided to establish the following 3 ad hoc committees: the Superintendent Evaluation Committee, the Board of Education Policy Committee, and the Board Member Handbook Committee. Each of these committees will operate as ad hoc committees, meaning they will serve for a specific purpose and dissolve upon completion of their tasks. Each committee will have 2 board members assigned to ensure focused discussions and timely progress. Since the committees are limited to 2 members, they are not required to hold an open meeting. However, if additional board members are needed, the committee will follow all Open Meetings Act requirements to ensure transparency. Let me provide a brief explanation of each ad hoc committee, their focus, and the names of the board members who will serve on them. The first is the Superintendent Evaluation Committee. This committee will focus on reviewing and refining the processes we use to assess the superintendent's performance. This will help ensure that our evaluations are clear, objective, and aligned with our district's priorities. Board Secretary Christine Burkett and Board Member Tola McKindy will serve on this committee. This committee will work closely with the superintendent and may seek input from district administration when necessary. Please note, if this committee determines that more than 2 board members need to be involved, discussions regarding the performance of the superintendent may be held in closed session, following all applicable Open Meetings Act requirements. The second committee, the Board of Education Policy Committee. This committee will focus on reviewing existing board policies and recommending any updates or changes necessary to align with best practices and state requirements. This work will help the board remain responsive to the district's evolving needs. Board Vice President Nancy Zettler and I, Board President Dr. David Scarpino, will serve on this committee. This committee will also seek input from district staff when appropriate and ensure that any recommended policy changes are carefully reviewed before presenting them to the entire board for the presentation and their consideration. Finally, the Board Member Handbook Committee. This committee will be responsible for developing and refining a comprehensive handbook for board members. This will serve as a valuable resource for both current and future board members by outlining roles, responsibilities, and expectations to support effective governance. Board Vice President Nancy Zettler and Board Member Leslie Lamarca will serve on this committee. In the coming weeks, each committee will develop the following: a goal statement that outlines the committee's primary objectives and purpose, a timeline indicating when key milestones and deliverables will be completed, and a communication plan for providing regular updates and recommendations to the full board. Thank you. We are now on to consent items. Agenda item number 10, consent items under $35,000. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items under $35,000?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Leslie, were you the first? Who was the, okay.
Nancy and me, yeah.
Okay. Lamarca,
Yes, aye.
McKindy,
Aye.
Zettler,
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Scarpino,
Aye.
Fiorentino.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Item number 11, consent items over $35,000. Do I have a motion to approve the consent items over $35,000?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler,
Aye.
McKindy,
Aye.
Scarpino,
Aye.
Fiorentino,
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Lamarca,
Aye.
motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Item number 12, roll call action items. 12.1, approval to display proposed curriculum material adoptions. Do I have a motion for the approval to display proposed curriculum materials?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
Zettler, Fiorentino,
Aye.
Lamarca,
Aye.
McKindy,
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Scarpino?
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. Item number 13, closed session. Do I have a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of discussing, 1, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body, 2, parentheses 1. Number 2, litigation, 2, parentheses 11. Third, student disciplinary cases, 2, parentheses 9. And 4, security procedures, school building safety and security, and the use of personnel to respond to an actual, a threatened, or a reasonably potential danger to the safety of employees, students, staff, the public, or public property, 2, parentheses 8. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, would you please take the roll?
McKindy? Aye. Zettler?
Aye.
Scarpino?
Aye.
Lamarca?
Aye.
Fiorentino?
Aye.
Burkett, aye. Motion passes 6-0.
Thank you. We will not take any action afterwards. Thank you.